everyone, long time no see. Today we have another episode of Midnight Blues and Other Musings. We're going to be doing a Junior Grand Prix number 3 recap. We're also going to be talking about a little bit about Champs. Ceci, how are you doing?
I am doing well, and I am excited to talk about all the skating content we have this week. You know, not only Junior Grand Prix, Champs Camp, and we also had that IAM live on Saturday. So we definitely got some content in terms of the Gabois teams and what to expect for the fall and Olympic season, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I was waiting for Junior Grand Prix number 3 for a very long time, like everyone else was. I was really honestly really missing Team Russia, and we saw a lot of outstanding skaters. It was really lovely to see in the past 2 competitions, though, how deep the Korean ladies field is. And I'm really excited to see them grow as a skating federation, because there's going to be a lot of talent for this next quad. So
yeah,
first jump into the ladies discipline of Junior Grand Prix number 3. So we're going to get started talking about Veronika Zilina. So Ceci, why don't you share your thoughts?
Yeah, so my first thoughts with the short program is I really like how into the Harley Quinn program she seems. Her expression, interpretation, just like her body language in the short program is so much more enthusiastic, positive, more into it than the free program. And it's just really nice to see how junior skaters are skating to stuff that makes them happy and makes them, wanting to skate. Versus compared to the free program where she did do Love Story, didn't seem to be as into it, which makes sense, 13 or 15-year-olds aren't really into the dramatic or sad music and want to do more fun stuff. But yeah, I thought that was really nice to see skaters doing stuff that they wanted to do. But on the Romeo and Juliet note, I'm just kind of aghast with the Angels of Plushenko doing Romeo and Juliet with Sasha last season, and now they're doing it with Veronika this season, considering Dasha also did it last season and Aliona did it the season before. I know it's a warhorse, but it's getting a tad bit excessive at this point. And I also love the show program, and she did You Don't Own Me. I love that song. It was one of the first songs I bought on Apple iTunes. It was my alarm on my phone for 5 years. So da 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 da. That part, so good. Love that. I really like the running edge out of her flip in the free program. It was really nice to see those kind of moments where she was allowed to breathe. Obviously, the speed, her technique is really great. But yeah, no, great performance. I have no qualms with her winning. She obviously showed up with her material, with her program, and really performed it to the best she could.
Yes, agree with everything you said. Personally, I really like Veronika. I think she's a phenomenal skater. In terms of her short program, I thought the program was really cute. She looked like she had a blast skating to it, and I really feel like they're doing a disservice to skaters like Trusova and Zilina, who don't have that solid performance and interpretation quality that you really need to sell a Romeo and Juliet program. You're just doing them a disservice because that's not where their strong suits lie. One thing I really noticed, especially with her free skate, I know she was planning on doing a triple axel on top of her quads, but I think that the double axel move was a very smart one. Her Lutz is phenomenal. The speed she generates in her skating is just exceptional. She is so fast, but I'd really like the Angels of Plushenko to utilize the power in her program components, because that's really where she's lacking. Like I said before, the performance and interpretation quality is really not there. And she has such good skating skills. That's something that I really noticed. And with the Harley Quinn program, it's fun. And for me, at least, it's not I think it's a little bit of a campy program. It's not really it's not particularly good. The music cuts are really weird, but she's having a blast. And for me, that's what matters the most in junior skating. For me, I don't need a skater who doesn't show any facial expression or, use her hands to interpret the music to skate something like Romeo and Juliet. She's not a Gubanova-like skater. So onto her free skate, she did a double axel, a quad sal, a quad toe and triple toe, a triple flip, a triple lutz, triple quad toe and double toe, and she had one more combo, a lutz, Euler, and sal combo. Really, really phenomenal. For me, one thing I'm very proud of her for is if any of you have been following her last season, it was quite frankly disastrous to the point where many people thought she would not be skating. We did hear over the summer that she was struggling with a back injury, and you can really see how that's probably going to be aggravated with her landings. She really needs to improve her knee bend because her landings really, really are scary. And I think this is very common in junior skating, especially when they are attempting ultra C elements. Cece, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I wanted to echo onto your point about, camps choosing the right programs for their skaters. I think like as a junior, like, and your coach, your job is to kind of develop your skater, make them well-rounded, get them ready for competition, maybe skate to maybe a little more variety of music so they can see what they like. But I mean, and we see this in seniors as well, but not as much. But I mean, maybe this is just trial and error. But just like the mismatch in terms of personality and skating programs in like with not only with Veronica, but also like other juniors in the past. It's just so like, I don't know, like it's just like sad to see with Sayun, her she has so much like presence and like sass. Like I would have liked to see her skate to maybe a more like lyrical or like pop piece of music versus the instrumental she chose. Like when she like came out on the ice, she like popped a hip and like gave this like smirk, and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is a star. And I don't know, I just think it's just nice to see when juniors, like you as a skater know yourself the best and picking the music. Like with Veronica, more stuff in the line of like Harley Quinn, Truciva-esque programs that are big and bombastic and are a lot of like big movements and just all like this like big, 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 big. Not something more delicate like Romeo and Juliet. But again, honestly, so happy to see her do well at this competition, considering she was only a reserve on the national team this year. Like huge moment for her and the Plushenko camp. I'm really happy for her to see things are going well.
Yeah, definitely. Echoing onto your point about how Jelena needs a big, fun, bombastic program. Judges are really doing her a disservice by giving her such high PCS in the short program. I was honestly quite appalled by the PCS mark she received. And I'm saying this as a big Veronica fan. I love her skating. I absolutely root for her, but these skaters are going to fall into a cycle of doing these sort of love story type programs when they really shouldn't be doing them. I don't know if you watched Kimi Rapon, but her PCS was egregious to me, and perhaps that's more a topic of federation support. Comparing Switzerland, a small federation, to the Russian Federation, but I think it's unfortunate that junior skating itself is so politically driven. So why don't we move on to Sophia Moravieva, who is so lovely.
Oh my gosh, she was my favorite. Yeah. She was my favorite. Her, like, I'm just gonna like go on like a little like hype train for a moment. Yes. But oh my gosh, okay, so her this presence on the ice is so light. She's so like magnetic when she skates. Like she gets so into the music. Like she uses her limbs and her body extension so well. Like she reminds me of Carolina Klockner with those like long legs, and she uses them to her advantage. Like she's so good. Like her short program, okay, free program I didn't like as much, with like the like Tobey Maguire voiceovers that lasted for like maybe like 45 seconds too long. But she came like alive during that lyrical portion with the Lana Del Rey Young and Beautiful. Like she was getting so into it. Like if I was choosing, like I would have liked her to win the competition because she was just so good. And I'll talk about this when we talk about Adelia, but she is just so like lyrical, and she seems so confident when she skates compared to Adelia's more like grittiness. But I think they're both really good, and they kind of offer like contrasting views of like what a Terry wants her junior skaters to be right now. But yeah, I loved Sophia. She's my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
so good.
I really fell in love with Sophia skating at junior test skates. I think she's phenomenal. I really, really kind of like that everyone in the short program had, the same elements for obvious reasons, but, no triple axels in the short program. So you really, really got to see the difference in this quality of skating. And Sophia truly has a senior-like quality. I'd say she has better program components than a lot of senior skaters.
I agree.
In the free skate, I was not surprised at all that she popped her quad sal into a triple sal. I think it was totally unrealistic that she was even planning to do a quad sal, and she's obviously exceptional. We love her skating. Both of us are going to wax poetic like we already have about her, but unfortunately, it was quite literally impossible for her to win after Jelena skated that almost clean program minus her quad sal, which had a little bit of issues, had a negative grade of execution, but really, really, really good skater. I'm so excited to see her grow, and it always makes me happy when skaters who might not have Ultra C elements get on a podium, especially against Sambo 70 skaters. I think that this is an incredibly big deal for Angels of Plushenko, especially after the season that they had last year. They had a pretty devastating season, I'd say. They lost most of their
I would say the same too.
Yeah, they lost all of their senior skaters, actually, Aliona Kosternaya and Sasha Trusova. Sasha Trusova, I wouldn't really say had a great season. She had a awful Rostelecom Cup, but kind of sort of came back at the World Championships after she had a disastrous short program, came back in the free skate, but I wouldn't really call that a massive win, judging by how the World Championships went for all skaters. So I'm excited to see how Sophia grows under the Angels of Plushenko, and she has made massive technical improvements. Even at junior nationals, which was 6 months ago, she was really struggling. Her jumps looked shaky. They looked under-rotated. Her axle wasn't big at all. And now they really have that stability. And she's a taller skater. Her legs are longer, and we always love to see these taller, lankier skaters make technical improvements, because if you're already struggling tech-wise as a junior, it's not going to get any better when you're a senior. And I'm really wondering who the jump specialist the Angels of Plushenko have employed. I don't know if it's Zhelena's mom or any other coach, but I'd really like to know more about what they're working on, even with the sports psychology side of things. I don't see Moravieva as someone who stands out to me tech-wise, but she's a really well-rounded skater, and we love to see that. And I am happy that her total score is going to put her in the running for the Junior Grand Prix final, because that's something that all of the skaters really need to worry about, because it's not about wins this time, it's about the average scores. So echoing what Ceci said about her Great Gatsby program, I love it. I personally
so good. It's so good.
I listen to Lana's unreleased music in the shower. I love to romanticize my life by listening to her unreleased music. And
what's your favorite unreleased song?
Ooh, it's the Heaven one. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, mine's the Every Man Gets His Wish.
Yeah. Like, good one.
I used to make love in the movies. Yeah. We used to at Movie Tuesdays. Yeah. That one's so good.
Yeah. My favorite album is probably Norman effing Rockwell. I don't want to swear because yes. But yeah, definitely my favorite album. I really like Venice Bitch. I just swear it's sorry. I really, really like, is it Love Song?
I'm kind of a Paradise stan, but I honestly just started listening to her albums like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, they're kind of fun.
Yeah, I was on Tumblr when I was 12 years old, unfortunately. So I have been exposed to her music since a very young age, which is perhaps not good, but it is.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. So why don't we move on to Adelia? Ceci,
Yes.
I really want to hear what you think about her.
Okay, so Adelia. Okay, so she's the one that Xenia is like coaching, right?
Is that actually true?
Or the one that like people want Xenia to coach, because she kind of looks like a mini Xenia.
She looks like a mini Xenia with like less tech issues, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so she like reminds me of her in terms of like her grittiness and like the type of like artistic. Like the way I phrased it when I was like watching this is like she's artistic in like her body movements and but not in her like facial expression.
Yeah.
So like she's like contorting her body and like hitting her points on the music and like doing these wonderful shapes, but her face is like completely blank. Which is just like very like odd, but it reminds me of when Xenia, like when she would skate, especially like in the earlier days of her career, like she'd be doing these like contortionist movements with these like very odd programs, but like her expression would just not be there. But you know, I do appreciate the grit, you know, like hard work. You know, you gotta work hard in skating. I do appreciate that. Not really a fan of the Billie Eilish, but the program with Sia actually works very well. I don't think it's bad, and her costume is really great too. Really great packaging, and I like her the hairstyle, the bun with the little tie thingy that Anna did 2 years ago. But yeah, I really liked her. I would have still had her in third though. Even if Sophia was first, I would have put Veronica second.
Yeah. The judges did an excellent job with Sophia's PCS. She was winning PCS. She scored 65.14, but she did lose to Adelia in her technical element score. Adelia got a 71.58 and Sophia got a 70.59. And I'm really grateful for that. Adelia did get a 60.33, and this is a massive win for the Angels of Plushenko to actually make this happen. I was pleasantly surprised. I think Adelia is an excellent skater. I really do like her. I think her and Akatieva are really talented, and I'm excited to see how her scoring matches up to Sophia's. I do think Sophia has the edge tech-wise. I did see someone say that she's also training a quad flip.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So she does. Sophia does have that edge, and I'm actually really curious to see how the Zhelina versus Sophia showdown will pan out at Junior Grand Prix final, assuming that they're both going to make it, because I really hope these skaters make it. Adelia is really going to struggle when it comes to qualifying for the Junior Grand Prix final, and I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I was pretty concerned after seeing her short program score. I didn't really have high hopes for the free skate. I did think that she was going to be second in the free skate, just based on Sophia's tech arsenal. It's less technically challenging than Adelia's, but we'll see how that second event goes for all three of these top three girls.
I agree. They're all going to this next event together, right? I know things have gotten changed around because of the COVID restrictions.
I haven't checked that yet. But
isn't the next event in Russia?
Yeah, did you watch Chaeyeon Kim?
I did. I talked about her earlier. So she is like a star, like the sass and the presence. And I'm like, I'm a little disappointed by the instrumental program she did. Like it was very nice, but like I would have liked something maybe more like Broadway-y, like maybe like Annie would have been good. Just like something with a bit more like sass where she could like really perform, because like, oh my gosh, like she just came out there and like dominated. And adding on to your point earlier about the like really competitive Korean junior ladies, I want to add on to the point, they're not all from the same camp either. These are like many different coaches that are I don't want to say creating, but are like training these high level junior skaters who are really able to compete with the best. I think that's really I think it's really impressive in terms of infrastructure, but I do think the KSF needs to really rethink their qualification process in terms of having their like fake nationals, like the ranking competition, and then the real nationals, because we really see Korean skaters do well in the fall, but not do as well in the spring. And I really think it's because they do make them do those two nationals, which really like, they have to peak at nationals, and causes injury, overtraining, and they're just like not as ready for the spring competitions as skaters from other feds.
Yeah. I think it is interesting that a skater like Claire Seo was skating for Korea for a period of time, but now skates for the US.
Yeah, it goes to show, maybe it is quite difficult to get that Fed support. And also, the ranking competitions determine whether or not you have ice access, because there's only so many rinks in Korea, and only I believe the ranking competition like guarantees you access to the rink, whereas if you don't rank, you don't get that access.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Claire was training in the United States or Korea or not. If she was training in Korea, it would have been more.
Trains in Colorado, I believe.
Okay, so it would have not been an issue, but that was just something I remember hearing, because Yoon-soo didn't make the ranking competition 2 years ago, and she was saying in an interview about how she was worried about ice time.
Yeah. Cheon is ridiculously talented. I really
so good.
Triple Lutz stands out to me, and to me, she's a very evenly balanced skater when it comes to tech and program components. I think that her interpretation of music is extremely, extremely lovely. Her spins are also just fantastic. And I just talked about her triple Lutz, her triple Lutz, and one thing that I really loved about this competition is how solid the skaters' Lutzes were, with the exception of Adelia. My God, I was just.
They were so good. Like, did we get transported back to 2013 with the era of Mao, Yuna, and Carolina's Lutzes? Like, they were good. They were good.
I was just in awe of these Lutz edges and their Lutz combos in general. Adelia obviously is not included in the mix of skaters who she has a flat edge. She doesn't have that textbook Lutz that a lot of these skaters have. Jilina, Cheon, oh my God, I am so impressed, and that's going to create that's incredibly important for this future generation of skaters, so they don't get away with incorrect Lutz edges. So that was really awesome to see. She's really talented. I am kind of sad about Korean ladies ending up off the podium. I think it's.
I am too.
Yeah, I think it's extremely unlikely that any of them are going to be making the Junior Grand Prix final, but at the very least, this is going to give them solid momentum going into Korean Nationals and also for the next quad. Because I'm really not sure about Unsu's career trajectory. I don't see her making the Olympics, and I really don't know if she's going to keep skating next quad.
I mean, I feel like that question, quite frankly, Yunsu has never performed well at nationals. Like, it was always Young or Hyen who placed above her at nationals, and Yusu was just the senior, and so she was sent to the senior competitions. Yeah, I agree. I think just to piggyback off of your point on the Korean ladies not making the Junior Grand Prix final, I feel that like the Senior Grand Prix final, the Junior Grand Prix final will only feature skaters from the US and Russia, or because they won't be representing Russia.
Yeah.
I think, not to piggyback, but senior, I think we're looking at an all Russian Grand Prix final, except for maybe Alyssa or Brady could be a spoiler, depending on Brady's status. But
yeah, I really don't see you. I mean, in my opinion, I really don't see any US ladies making the Senior Grand Prix final.
Yeah, but junior for sure. Come on, Christ, two American ladies won the competitions in France, so they got those high average scores.
Yeah, I think Isabeau probably perhaps has a higher chance in my opinion. But while we're talking about US ladies, someone who I was really excited to see at this competition was Mia Kalin, and
yes,
this was a struggle for her. It was a massive
struggle.
I know. She has Isabeau X jumps. These jumps are a struggle for her. This includes her triples. It is terrifying to me that skaters who are struggling on their triples, who are struggling with landings, I don't even know how some of these skaters are landing things. And the fact that they're training and attempting ultra C elements in competitions is incredibly unsustainable and not safe. Mia's jumps looked terrifying to me, and unfortunately, her short program was disastrous, which meant she really had to load up her technical arsenal in the free skate. And this was not a successful competition for her, and I was really surprised because she did beat Isabeau in the free skate at Skate Milwaukee. What were your thoughts about her skating?
Yeah, I mean, I just think like it's very not the first time, we've seen a junior skater like really struggle from competition to competition, but it is quite worrying, especially like I guess in past years, if you were an American lady, you didn't really have to worry about maybe not having a good competition. But at this current time in American junior figure skating, you kind of do have to be on all the time. And it just reminds me of like Rika's competitions when she was a junior, when she would have those really bad, I mean, even as a senior too, have those really bad short programs and have to load up the tech. And, like as a competitor, like I would not want to be put in the position of having to like make things up by like overloading yourself. And I mean, like, I guess they've trained for it, but it just is very like confusing. And to see these skaters who, aren't really doing their landings, aren't really completing the rotations, and they're going for more. And I'm like, whoa there, like, let's land the jump first, and I think you're quite successful if you kind of pause on the rotations and kind of go back to basics, as you see in Alyssa, like their jumps are so much better than they were when she was in juniors, like night and day. And it took like a year, almost a year and a half, working on it. Like their comparison from like Skate America at that gala where it was like horrible to to Cranberry Cup was like crazy. So I mean, I just think Mia and her coaching team need to kind of no, I this also was too early, could have been a fluke, but I think just in general, like I think American ladies need to really reevaluate the way they're training and its sustainability.
Yeah, I think Sophia Moravieva is a very good example of a skater who skates in such a deep field of Russia, and she did not need Ultra C elements to win a silver medal, and it's a testament to her skating abilities, her skating skills, her lovely performance qualities, and that's something that a lot of these U.S. junior lady skaters and their coaching teams really need to work on. And I think that this is a good lesson for Mia. Ava Marie Ziegler, she didn't have any Ultra C elements, but she did beat Mia Kalin in the free skate and the short program. And also, I'd like to say that she got 10 points higher than Mia Kalin did in program component score. And that's saying a lot. That's a massive issue for Mia, and she really needs to work on that. And I think it is really hard for a skater if you're focusing mostly on your tech and increasing your rotations, and it's not an easy job. And Alyssa is a very inspiring skater for me, and I'm sure for others, because man, it is hard to do what she did, especially with her injuries. And I really would like to see these skaters improve in that area of skating. Did you watch Maria Zakharova?
I did not.
I liked her. I did watch her short program and her free skate. She didn't stand out to me, especially tech wise, but she did have a relatively, okay showing. She was fourth in the short program, I believe, and fifth in the free skate. And, she did attempt a quad toe, but she did get negative GOE for it. I don't have too much to say, honestly, because for me, Moravieva, Cheon, and Veronica were probably the standout skaters for me. Did you watch Kimi Rapond?
I did. Amazing short program. Really sad to see the free program didn't go as well. But I think we talked about this in the past, but it was really nice at the first two Grand Prix to kind of have those like smaller fed skaters really shine. And it was really great, even at a competition in which, like the big bad wolf with quotes of junior figure skating here, a small fed was still able to break out. And I think it's great to see that because you kind of like an heir apparent to who's the current Swiss skater who's American, but she's Swiss? Alexia. Alexia, someone to, you know, kind of like deal with, not like deal with, but like kind of like, you know, represent Switzerland after. But yeah, I really liked her short program, such a talent. I really hope that she stays in junior skating and is able to make like a good like junior/senior career.
Yeah, I really loved her skating. I think that she definitely should have beaten Jelena in her PCS. I thought her PCS was egregiously low. I do see tech issues that are kind of blossoming with Kimmy. Her jumps kind of scare me a bit. She's relying on her rotational speed, and I don't know. She doesn't get very much height. She does appear to be a taller skater, so we'll see how her next. Actually, I take that back because the Swiss Federation is actually being really unfair about this because she's not going to get a second junior Grand Prix. They required her to be in the top 4, and I really don't understand why they didn't send her to an earlier junior Grand Prix competition where Russia isn't there, because to ask for any skater to place in the top 4 when you have Russian skaters competing, that's really difficult, even if you're a solid skater who's um, just because how inherently political sport is. So my heart goes out to her, and I hope that she attends a lot of training camps. And I know she was in St. Petersburg over the summer, so I hope she continues to have a stable training environment and attend more and more camps and really focus on those technical issues, because I know she was really nerfed with under rotation calls. I believe in her short program. So yeah, why don't we move on to ice dance? I know
Yes.
and I are huge ice dance fans. We don't shut up about it. We will wax poetic about it for hours on end, and it's very nice that we have this platform to be able to do so. So
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so Vasilisa Kaganovskaya and Valerie Angelopol, they are my favorite junior ice dancers. They are my favorite number 1 ice dance team for me. They are phenomenal. Ceci, please give me your thoughts.
Oh gosh. Okay, so first with the rhythm dance, not a fan. I think enough people have stated like their problems with this program. Like it just doesn't work. Like the hip hop beat over the like the slowed reverb of like, I forget what song they're doing, but it's like not even yeah. It's like not even a good song. And I was like, oh. But I like their packaging is really good. I'm just not a fan of the music, and the music is just like really, really important. I feel like in a pattern dance, it can really like make or break in terms of how you integrate the required elements with the music. Not a fan. I do like their free dance though. So.
Yeah. So a little bit of an unpopular opinion for me. I really dislike their rhythm dance during Russian Junior Test Skates. I thought it was honestly horrible. And I have no clue how this qualified as a hip hop program. But I actually kind of liked it. I think it's campy and it's kind of fun. Vasilisa really, really surprised me. She looked so charismatic, so confident, and she's always been such a performer, but somehow that confidence was amplified during the rhythm dance, and I loved her makeup and her overall, costume and look in this program. And I was really surprised to see the improvements on the blues pattern. One thing I really, really noticed with this program is Vasilisa and Valerie skate wonderfully in hold. Their lines
really
are
good,
evenly matched, straight legs, and there was really that quality of skating that I saw with Kagapol that I did not see with Bruce and Nat. And with Bruce and Nat, for me, they really struggle with skating in hold. I don't think that I don't know if you remember, how they skate and hold, but they always have bent legs.
Well, they would have more time to learn to skate and hold if they both quit singles and started working on ice dance together and started skating together more. It all comes back to them quitting singles, which is the ultimate cricket club master plan.
Yeah, that is very true. And one thing is, like, I get this question a lot, and it's like, which single skater should go to ice dance? Who would excel in ice dance? And I think Daisuke Takahashi is a good example
of someone
who has exceptional skating skills, but really struggled as an ice dancer last season, because ice dance is not only about skating skills. He oh my God, like if you just watch his feet, like his edges are so deep, and you really see that with Natalie and Bruce. They have extremely deep edge quality, and it's beautiful. Something you don't always see in a lot of junior ice dancers, but I I really found their free dance to be messy. I found their free dance to be really messy. I think it is a very complex program, but I don't think juniors should be skating to something like Black Swan. I think that honestly, after Ilinik and Katsalapov did Black Swan at the Olympics, I don't think it's possible to do something like that.
I mean, I like Black Swan. I'm gonna like it no matter who's skating to it, you know. My one Indian pace. I really like it, but because this is a repeat of the program, I am gonna be slightly more critical. In their step sequence, when like they have the big drums like da 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 da, they're going so slow on their step sequence. It like really like takes you out of the program. You're like, this is supposed to be fast, like upbeat, fast, like boom, 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 and we're not doing that. I'm like sad. And the way they can't really hold their lines together is like very painful, but something that could be easily solved if they skated together more instead of working on their singles careers. Just I feel like a lot of their issues as a team would be easily fixable if they spent more time training together instead of training separately and then bringing both of their expertise to their partnership. But their rhythm dance, on the other hand, is genius. It's poetic, like it's poetic cinema. It's so good. I love how they use Son of a Preacher Man with the pattern. Her costume is so good. Like Sasha's Kill Bill costume was like not good. I love like the yellow kind of like mini skirt with the black stripe, like kind of staying like the 60s vibe, but like a homage to the tracksuit. I love the step sequence. I put it redefined hip hop. Maybe TikTok trends as music are good. I loved it, and I love how into it they got. They got like so excited, and like goes back to like juniors and just like skaters in general, but especially juniors because they're young. I mean, Bruce and Natalie aren't young, but like just juniors in general. It's nice to see them skate to music that they get into instead of music that maybe is chosen to appease to judges. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think that the rhythm dance is actually genius. We were talking about this earlier, but it is probably one of our top favorite programs just of this quad and ice dance. It is so good. It is brilliant, and Bruce is so charismatic, and someone was saying this earlier, but he kind of reminds me of Draco Malfoy. And he
blonde hair.
Yeah, he really gets into the character.
Don't let the TikTok girlies get a hold of him.
Their skating isn't my favorite. There's a lot to work on. I don't think that they should be doing singles. I think that their talents really lie with ice dance. I don't think that they should have won the program component score in the rhythm dance, but Kaganovskaya and Angelopol did beat them in PCS in the free dance. And I'm also really, really sorry to the listeners that I kind of jumped to Nat and Bruce without finishing our thoughts on Kagapol. But on my thoughts on Kaganovskaya and Angelopol's free dance, I don't really love the music, and I think
deduction.
I don't. So like just in the music, first of all, it's not really their fault or Krylova and their team's fault at all, simply because the Romeo and Juliet program was so damn like it was just so magical. It had that magical quality just like Virtue and Moyer's Umbrella program, and I think it's going to be really, really hard to live up to the magic of that program. But my God, that is a senior type of free dance. Their lifts, they are so well matched. Their spins just gorgeous. But unfortunately, they did have that -2 deduction, and they did have, I believe, a music violation that. Oh my God. I didn't really love the knee slide. I don't think it should have ever been included, but I'm quite appalled that they have skated this program twice or thrice, and not a single judge or Russian Federation official,
I know,
and her team pinned out that this is going to be an issue and removed it, because they would have easily won the free dance and would have had an excellent lead and momentum going to their next event. So they really, really need to work on their levels, because they did have level 2s and level 3s on their, was it their 1 foot step sequence? I think
I'll
so.
be honest, I don't recall, but this is like the biggest could have, should have, would have. Like, I am so upset they didn't win. Like,
Yeah.
personal attack, personal, like they are so good. Like they are just like leaps and bounds on everyone. Like they were like, I think, our most anticipated debut on the junior Grand Prix circuit. And I'm just sad.
Yeah. One thing though, they did beat Jeffrey and Katarina in the rhythm dance
Yes.
sport. So, I am so excited for the Junior Grand Prix final. Someone asked me what teams do I think are gonna make the final. Why don't we answer that after maybe the next event?
Yeah, because there's 7 events, there's 4, and by that time everyone will have competed, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think just like general right now, Wolf and Chen, the Browns, I think Cadpool are good. Natalie and Bruce, I would say, are definitely a solid 4 that I would place money on. Those last 2 are a bit more flexible.
Yeah. I really enjoyed watching Sophia Tutunina and Alexander Shostitsky. I thought that they were interesting. They had got solid levels. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I think ice dance is something that you really cannot predict because there are going to be those small errors that can really nerf these skaters, just like we saw with Kaganovska and Paul. But, I will say the most exciting skaters for me were Vasilisa and Valerie. What about for you? Who were your standouts this event?
I gotta say Natalie and Bruce's rhythm dance, and I'm only saying that I love Cadpool, but this competition, their programs were just like not skated as cleanly.
Yeah.
They would have been my top, like any other competition, just not today. I gotta give credit where credit is due with that genius rhythm dance and a great performance.
Yeah. Why don't we move on to
moving across the other side of the pond.
I do quickly want to share my thoughts on pairs.
Do that.
I am a very big pair skating fan. I think that no one agrees with me, but I think it is the most exciting event. So my standouts for this event were Anastasia Mukartova and Dmitry Evgeniev. Oh my God, I love them. They are so good. I'd say they are probably the most exciting junior pair skaters for me. They are absolutely phenomenal. They have a fantastic on ice and off ice partnership. I do think that they were nerfed a little hard in the free skate, but really, really solid skate for them. The pairs event was very much a mess. So we had Karina Safina and Luka Berulava who got second in the free skate, and we had Paulina and Alexei who won third in the free skate, and Violeta Sierova and Ivan Kopta, and unfortunately Ksenia Akanteva and Valerie Kolosov were fifth in the free skate. Really unfortunate for them. Probably not going to get a second Junior Grand Prix event. And they're an exceptional team, but this was just kind of a mess of an event. I don't really have much to say. Paulina is actually one of my favorite pair skaters. I've been a fan of her since she was skating with Dimitri, Dima, her former skating partner, but unfortunately they did break up, and she did move from the Velikovs, I believe, to Team Moser, and she was with Irina Ushakova, who works for Moser. It was a rough skate. It was a very
it was bad.
And we're not like huge men's skating fans. I will be honest. I don't know, Cece, do you have any thoughts on men's?
No thoughts, brain empty on men's. Not really anything to say. I mean, I kind of like showed up for Ilya last week because he is. I do think he's a talent. But yeah, I didn't really watch the men's this week.
Yeah, I did watch the top 4, and Kirill Sarnovsky is the smallest little boy. He looks like a 10. It's just he's adorable. He kind of looks like Danil Samsonov. He's adorable, and he did well under pressure, and I'm very glad.
So cute.
Ilya Yablakov. Linus had this, but he was kind of like 3 different people in his free skate, and he was definitely a fighter at the end of his free skate. He really, really fought. And William Ennis, he had an exceptional short program. He skated to Green Day, I believe, which is so fun, and he was like so into the program.
That's so cute.
Yeah, he was so into the program, but unfortunately he was 4th in the free skate. But Corey Sarkelli, I don't know. He's always like, I feel so bad because this is the second time he's ended up off the podium. Both
I know.
at both of his events, and Hannah.
I know.
But like, he's the reason why we need to make every junior men's skater do ice dance for like a short period of time.
Yeah.
Because you cannot teach the type of talent that Corey has. Like, he has a gift, but he was 8th in the short program, 3rd in the free skate, which is like, it's great, but
pretty great, yeah. Or like, we need to send them to like ice dance boarding school. Like, they need to go together. Like, every skater needs to go to Gabwa for like a year, or like for a month in the summer, and like learn how to like ice dance skate. But yeah, moving on to the other side of ice dance. So we had Champs Camp this week, and we did see like a lot of the programs just based on what I saw. But Carrera and Ponomarenko, Christina Anthony, I am like obsessed. So their rhythm program like outfits are like black and like sparkly, and they look so good, and they look so sharp, and the twizzles look amazing. Like, they look so good, considering the first set of twizzles was always kind of their weak point in the past. To see them like really confidently go out there is like great. And in the free program as well, they really had that cross-directional skating that like really looks fantastic on them, and it's great to see them attempting more technically difficult content, and achieving it with such like confidence and high level of skill. So I was really happy to see the progress that they've made, and I'm really excited to see them at either their senior beat. I think it was supposed to be ACI, but that got canceled, so I don't know if they'll go somewhere else now, or maybe Skate Canada, but that's also up in the air.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised with their rhythm dance. It
looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good.
It looked really good. I love their new lift. Bat dance was such a good choice for them. I think it's such a fresh and fun choice.
It's so fun. Like, I love it. Like, the junior teams are really giving like them and like Marjo and Zach's free. I'm gonna talk about their free dance in a second.
Yeah. I want to talk about their free dance. I know you want to wait a little bit, but I will talk about it. I thought it was very messy, but I really did enjoy the cuts, but it looks like they had a lot of changes that they had to make after a high performance camp.
I think a lot of Gabwa free dances were changed over the summer. Just in terms of like the content and the way it's executed. I think that a lot of things in Gabwa were changed after high performance camps, both in Canada and in the US. Marjo and Zach's free dance looked a little messy in that final portion as well. So I wonder if things were changed based on the feedback they were getting from judges. I also don't really like Wicked Games. I'm not really a fan of the song at all, but like, it's a solid program. I think it's going to be a really good vehicle for them to kind of show off the changes they've made. I was more highlighting the multi-directional skating they were having in the step sequence, since they hadn't really had something to that level of difficulty before. It was nice to see. Yeah.
I'm really excited to, in competition, see the improvements that Christina specifically has made.
Yeah. Also the lift. Yeah. We need to talk about the lift. Like,
we need to talk about the lift. Let's talk.
So good. The lift was incredible. Love the lift. Yeah. Also, we'll talk. I guess Hubble and Donahue's new lift, quite interesting. I don't know if that will be, like, if it'll be acceptable. It looks a little too much like a Paris lift, but it does look
cool to me. I think that they'll have to change it if they didn't already get feedback at Champs Camp.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I mean, I hope they're able to keep it, because it's very interesting, and considering they kind of do have like the same kind of type of lift, and it's gotten quite old and stale, I was excited to see them do a new lift. Their Janet Jackson rhythm dance, I think Michael and Caroline's is better. So not much on that. And their free dance is just very much, I wish they had done something more upbeat, something like Chicago versus like the drone, the droning music.
Yeah.
And then Hawaii Baker, the same sort of music, but I didn't really, just not really too impressed. But I am interested to see this Donna Summer program because, you know, like they are the disco king and queen of ice dance. And do you have any thoughts on those teams?
Yeah, Hawaii Baker. I'm so excited for this Donna Summers rhythm dance. I did hear really good things about it from Champs Camp, but I am a little concerned in the status of Caitlin Hawaik's health. I hope it's all okay. And
yeah, me too.
I am really, really concerned about that. But in general, I am so excited for this rhythm dance. I think it's going to be a blast. They're going to look like they're having a blast on ice. It is so fun. But their freeze dance is very snoozy. I don't care for the music. I think it's ridiculously boring, and it's not the route that they want to be going down, especially in a season like this where you do have younger skaters who have moved up the ranks from juniors or have been in seniors for a couple seasons, but have kind of been fifth and fourth at U.S. Nationals. They're really going to face that threat of other teams kind of beating them at U.S. Nationals. They need to be careful of that, and I don't know if this free dance is a vehicle for them, and I really hope that she's
not injured,
because this is a really risky season for them. You do have new coaching changes with Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko.
Green and Parsons with their new programs.
Exactly. So they're really going to be on their toes this season. I hope everything is okay.
Yeah, and then I agree. And then the last team was obviously Chalk and Bates. Lack of speed was quite apparent, especially compared to teams like I watched them right after Hubble and Donahue went, and oh my God, like the difference in speed when you're watching from like a still camera that shows like the entire rink. That was just like night and day. And I'm interested. And their programs, again, none of the American teams besides Green and Parsons and maybe Carrera and Ponomarenko with their rhythm dance really have like organic choices. Everyone's really playing it safe. And I feel like this isn't a season to play it safe, especially if you're a team that's, looking towards the future in a post-Beijing world where teams are going to be retiring. You kind of need to make your mark now, not play it safe and not play it safe and live in 2018.
Oh, totally. Hawaii and Baker honestly have just been stagnating internationally, and I'd say teams that have been from third to fifth place at U.S. Nationals this quad really don't excel internationally. But Hawaii and Baker have been seniors for a while, and this really should have been their quad to shine.
Exactly. Since 2014, they're so old.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Chalk and Bates are doing Cantaloupe, I believe. Is that how you say it? Cantaloupe for their
the rhythm dance?
Yeah, rhythm dance. I think it's fine, but there's such a disparity in skating skills, speed, a lot of things.
She looks like $1 million though. She looks so great. Very love the costume, love the hair. Maddie Chalk always comes through with the packaging. It's like death and taxes and Maddie Chalk coming through in packaging.
Yeah, I mean, when you're that pretty, you are she is a performer. She's an actress on ice, and I love that. But we'll see how they do.
And then to Gabois.
Yeah.
Okay. Just gotta say, I am like obsessed with Marjorie and Zach's Rio program. I am obsessed.
Yeah.
No, you don't understand because it is so good. Okay, only thing is like the bird chittering in the beginning, I don't think is really needed. But then it goes into the birds of a feather, and you're like, oh my God, this is a banger. I was literally dancing in my seat watching it. This is gonna be such a crowd pleasing program at the Olympics. Probably the most crowd pleasing considering what other teams are going to be putting out. No one's going to have an upbeat program or a program with a lot of passion or energy. And so I'm really excited to see it at the Olympics. Their costumes look great. Their speed. They've always been such a fast team, but it was really on display in the filming. They're so fast. I love the new lifts they're doing. Great to see. Last section was maybe a little bit more frantic than I think they would have liked, but I do suspect there have been changes made to that program, and that is why it is like that.
Yeah. I honestly before I wasn't like a super big fan of the Rio Birds program. I don't know why. I don't actually know why I ever didn't really love it, but I really like it.
It's so good. It's my favorite program of the season. Like, it's my favorite senior program of the season.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. And Marjorie was telling me that I don't know who. I think it was Zach who discovered it because
it was Zach.
Yeah, like
and Marjorie was like, "What is this bird movie?"
Yeah, it's like a children's bird movie. I would skate to that, but I really like it. It's fun. It's so them, and I really think that they look like senior skaters. Obviously they are senior skaters, but this is such a fun program, and I hope that they go viral. I hope someone on Twitter and Tumblr makes them go viral because I think that they're so fantastic.
Yeah, they're so fun, and they look so into it. Like, even Zach is like getting into it and having fun. Which, like as Marjorie says, is very difficult to do. Zach is very stoic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fun. They were the only IAM. Oh, also, Maddie and Zach were killing me. Like, also the whole setup as like a little like talk show thing was hysterical. Like, like how they would like talk to them before and after and like give them feedback. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Insane. But Maddie and Zach were like so weirdly happy. I was like, did you like get some really good news or something?
Yeah,
they were just like
era.
Yeah, they were in a best friend era. And Zach was like, oh my God, like, Maddie, my best friend. Like look at our lift. I was like, okay, like, you guys usually aren't this happy. Like, what is up? But killed me how giggly and like best friend era they were in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't. They were the only things that I watched from that live. It was shout out to Ariana for clipping that for us. So I didn't. Did you watch anyone else from that?
I didn't watch anyone else from that, but we're talking about Goodwill Skaters or IAM Skaters. I will say a team that is usually always my favorite. I'm really disappointed with Lawrence and Nicolaj's choices. I was really disappointed last season, and I didn't expect to kind of feel this disappointment yet again. And I don't know. They finally have momentum and federation support, and they're sticking around for hopefully another quad. I know that they're at least sticking around for 2 more seasons, but I don't know.
Does Marie France know that?
She claimed that they're retiring.
Maybe she should talk to her teams and see what's up.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. It was probably a miscommunication. But yeah, no. Interesting. But yeah, that's all. Oh, also, Kanadai competed this week.
Oh my God.
I am making a confident prediction that they'll be going to the Olympics in February.
They better, for the sake of my mental well-being.
I'm sorry, Team Coco, but you can't compete. I'm sorry, you can't compete.
Well, personally, I am not sorry, simply because
I'm trying to be nice.
Well, Kana is just so good. Out of the 4 skaters,
yeah, she is the best.
Most talented. She's the best ice dancer. She has so much experience. And Daisuke, he did have a really rough season as a in his first season skating with Kana as an ice dancer. Really struggled with lifts, twizzles. Oh my God, this rhythm dance is actually genius. Marina Zueva, you have done it again. This was phenomenal, genius, outstanding, never been done before. Daisuke's twizzles. Oh my God, Ceci. I'm actually in shock. And personally, I am very pro these fake inflated scores. I think that this is brilliant.
I know.
Scores. Yeah.
Like Japan kind of like it took a Russian coach to get a Japanese skater the scores they deserve. The Russians, the Americans, they know the art of the politic, and the Canadians too, as we found out in that article. Sorry, that article kills me.
It was very funny. It was very funny.
But yeah, no, I was like, yeah, the Canadian mafia, that's like your biggest concern. Yeah. They're wearing their red and have their maple syrup and their mousse. Anyways, sorry. But no, yeah, I'm like pro inflated scores. I mean, I think Japan.
Oh my God. People are gonna get mad at us if we say that.
Guys, it's a joke. We are joking.
It's a joke. We're joking.
You cannot tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, just speaking frankly, I really do think Japan. I mean, I have talked a lot about how Japan, it's like pretty much mathematically impossible for them to lose the bronze to Canada, considering the scoring ranges of both of their skaters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the dance will give them a more comfortable position. But I don't think they have any chance of catching the United States for silver. However, the US is just, in terms of their dance, their pairs, and their men, are just so much higher in terms of the ranking compared to the other countries that will likely be competing.
Japan deservedly should win that bronze medal. I think that Kana and Dai will obviously up the chances.
I know they can be Olympic medalists.
Yeah.
2-time Olympic medalist. That would be, and also just in terms of like the wider context, I think it's really important that Daisuke is doing so well because it encourages Japanese skaters who do have good skating skills, are tall, to maybe kind of transition to ice dance. I think Japan desperately needs to build a kind of like culture of ice dance beyond. Yeah, that was fun week of skating we recapped.
Yeah.
So much stuff happened.
We should talk a little bit about Champs Camp because I know that me and Ceci did hear things and
Oh well, I mean we talked about dance, but you can talk about the other disciplines.
Okay, sure. So I would say that there seems to be quite a bit of concern with Brady. She also did withdraw from her next competition. I don't quite exactly remember which one, but she did withdraw.
Was it you? I mean, she withdrew from Cranberry. Did she withdraw from the US Classic?
She did withdraw from Cranberry, but she was doing triple toe combos. Didn't have a let's toe combo. I'm a little worried on that front. And Amber, we did see at Cranberry, she did have that infection.
Yeah.
So there is worry there. Alyssa, we'll see, but the Ultra C elements are going to be a little bit of a struggle, and it does worry me for Nebelhorn. But I think that she's the most solid person to be going to Nebelhorn. Audrey. She's fantastic, and I hope that she's able to make her mark for that Olympic spot. Because I'll be honest, I don't really think that there are any locks for this Olympic team at this point.
I agree. Which makes it so exciting.
It is really exciting, especially because with U.S. ladies, they're not going to be excelling internationally this season. It is what it is, but that's just the truth of it. And this includes Alyssa, and I know maybe people will disagree with me, but that's just what I believe. I don't believe that the U.S. ladies will be contending for those top 3 spots maybe at their Grand Prix, but obviously not in the second half of the season. So it's really more of an internal domestic battle for them. Karen did look wonderful. We'll see. Consistency really needs to improve. I'm really concerned about Jason. I really would not like injury. I would really not like for him to miss out on yet another Olympic team. But I'm concerned. I'm really concerned. We've not been hearing good things. I don't think anyone has. Yeah.
I think adding on to this, I mean, I don't know if this is what maybe Alyssa and her team want to hear, but I don't think that she, necessarily needs those Ultra C elements this season. Like, her goal is to win nationals and to go to the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And I mean, obviously medaling would be great, but if Ultra C elements aren't in the cards, I think she could still make that Olympic team and still get a team medal. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world. I think her goal is to just stay consistent, improving her PCS, and just being a strong competitor internationally. And if she works on the jumps, the quads and the triple axel will come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. We didn't watch St. Petersburg test skates, but we did hear a little bit about it. Misha Kolyada did incredible. I saw that he skated clean, but the fact is, practice isn't the issue for Misha for the most part, other than injuries. The issue is competition, so it really doesn't give me too much hope to see him skate super clean at test skates, because he could either end up 3rd at the Olympics or he could end up like 15th. That's kind of the scary part about Misha.
Yeah.
But I know me and Ceci are stoked and excited. I'm scared for Russian senior test skates. I'm really nervous. Who are you excited to see, Cece?
I'm excited to see Camilla's programs and probably Costo's programs. I'm very worried for her. I think we've heard some good news of Sasha just coming out of Sambo 70, so I'm not, as like, I'm a little more confident, but I'd like to see Costo and Camilla are probably my most anticipated.
Yeah. From what we've heard, Sasha definitely looks the best out of, I guess, out of everyone in that camp. She's incredibly consistent, and she's in the best shape that she's been. But again, practice isn't her issue because she's a fighter. She is a fighter, and she is one of the grittiest skaters I've ever seen. Her issue is mental. We saw what happened at Rust-Telecom Cup. We saw what happened at the World Championships in the short program. We'll see how she does, but I do anticipate that she's going to be the best looking one at test skates because she does have a U.S. Classic, I believe. So we'll see. And Tarasova and Morozov did change their short program. I think that I think the program was a non-issue. I don't understand the switch because I don't know. I don't know what'll be different.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope you all enjoyed this episode, and we will see you all after Russian test skates. So have a nice day, and thank you for listening to Midnight Blues and Other Musings.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.